I'm Zanette, and I'm part of the Source PR. We know you have some interesting needs, and we have a great plan to help you brand Voila by Sobeys to become the #1 competitor among online grocery shopping realtors. So a little bit about our team. So we are the Source PR, where you can plug in and come straight to the source for all of your PR needs. Our team consists of Abby Cole. She handles stakeholder relations. Abby handles stakeholder relations in a new way that many people wouldn't even dare to think of. Alicia Dennis is our public relations officer. She has many years of industry experience as a veteran communicator with over 2 decades in public relations, and she's served dozens of clients and is right here to help you find the solutions that you need for your PR. As well, I'm Zanette Mustafovsky. I'm the social media manager at The Source. I'm the in-house social media guru. My expertise cover all social media channels, so we know your brand is always going to be on its A game on social media. Great. So a little bit more about the Source PR. The Source PR is a multifaceted public relations firm that is here to help you with your communications needs. We work with a variety of clients providing additional support or completely overseeing projects such as media outreach, social media growth, creative branding, and strategic problem solving. We ensure each of our clients are satisfied with the quality of communications their company receives by coming straight to the source. The Source specializes in launching new and revolutionary brands into the marketplace with unique tactics that always get results. Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and many more. Working together with us, you'll receive superior support with all of your social media and PR needs. With experience serving countless of clients in both private and public sectors across a variety of industries, we live by the mantra, there are no problems, only solutions. And we look forward to finding creative solutions to your project that will fulfill stakeholder demands.
Okay, so a brief overview of where we're at. You launched in the pandemic. You're looking to increase your profile, raise awareness of your service. Obviously, you want to increase sales. And your roadblocks have been a suddenly extremely competitive market and a very crowded media space with all this COVID talk. So we know your biggest competitors are Loblaws and Walmart. We understand how your business is unique to theirs. And in order to determine how best to support you, we dove deep into your market to see where Voila fit and what people are saying, what they're looking for, what their concerns are. And we conducted a thorough focus group of your target market. And as luck would have it, you have a member of your primary target right here on this team. So we were able to provide some very valuable insight into what your customers are looking for. In our research, we found that most respondents do use online grocery shopping often, but their concerns included really limited pickup windows and the skepticism of produce quality. But we'll address that in a little bit more when we talk about our audiences and what their concerns were. So I'm going to turn it over to Abby. She's going to give you a brief overview of what we identify are the key issues that you're facing.
All right. So hi, everyone. Our public relations recommendations and campaigns will actually provide the easiest transition for your key stakeholders. Customers' decisions really depend on cost trade-offs, including time, price, value, and risk. But we really want to emphasize that Voila is eliminating that risk. And they're guaranteeing quality services that are not only affordable, but always on time. Employees may fear that job security might be impacted by the robots handling their tasks, and thus might be reluctant to market it to in-store customers. Sobeys needs to really instill confidence in employees and refrain from making this one extra thing on the cashier's plate. A huge thing with this as well is that they don't want it to be impacting it. So we need to make sure that we are working on everything we can to not overwhelm our key stakeholders. In our plan document, we've included specific media Q&A as well as what we can say to your key stakeholders. And this will really assist in stakeholder reassurance.
Thanks, Abby. Okay, this is the exciting part. What can we do for you? Well, you've been in the market for a while, so you need to re-energize. You need to re-penetrate the market. Voila will suddenly be everywhere. No one will be able to avoid seeing the name. Everyone will be asking, what's up with this full lie? I keep seeing stuff. Have you ever used it? So what we have planned for you, firstly, is an integrated, multi-channel, month-long campaign where you will saturate the entire media landscape for the month of May. This is an all-out approach and will ensure maximum impact and exposure. Also, we know you're currently more local to here, but you specifically mentioned a desire to attract national attention, so we paid attention to that as well, and we'll reveal exactly how we're going to do that when we get to our tactics. Secondly, we'll execute a very lively contest to recognize and reward frontline workers and members of the community to elevate your social responsibility profile while engaging a huge amount of people. Zanette is our media expert, and she's going to tell us exactly what we're going to achieve for you.
Great, thanks, Alicia. So our campaign does have some clear and measurable objectives. The campaign will gain a 40% increase in quote click-through rates and a 20% increase in sales followers by June 1st, 2021. As well, throughout the campaign, the goal is to increase trust in the company by proving the quality of the produce. This will be evaluated through the end of campaign research on each influencer's polls. More on influencers later. We will ask, would you use Voila, and receive 70% of participants answering yes. Through earned traditional media and social media, we will generate 600,000 media impressions and increase followers by 18% by June 1st, 2021. Additionally, Voila will be featured on one breakfast show and 3 national online newspaper articles by June 1st, 2021.
Okay, so a little bit about your audiences. In our initial meeting, you identified families as your primary target. More specifically, the family buyer, who's usually mom. So here's what we know about your primary target. As I mentioned before, I have special insight, being your target audience. So we're calling this audience older millennial, younger Gen X moms. They're 35 to 45, they've got kids in school, they're usually working professionals as well. You're targeting the GTA for now, so these families live in the GTA, and these folks get their parenting and life tips from friends and neighbors, and you actually find them collecting in local neighborhood Facebook groups, yeah, Facebook, and generally following the same parenting influencers on Instagram. So this audience watches very little network television, preferring to binge Netflix series. Got some good ones if you needed me. So you'll find that we've not done much for this audience in particular on television. In terms of grocery shopping, these folks are generally split between those who mostly shop online and only go occasionally into the store, and those who usually go into the store and have only shopped online a couple times or not at all. So among all the respondents, we found that their concerns were generally similar. They didn't like the limited pickup windows and didn't trust that the store would give them exactly what they would pick themselves. So this is where we're going to target that concern specifically and explain the process with the robot and the quality checks, make sure it's clear to them. Okay, so our secondary audience, we're calling empty nesters. These are the older Gen X, younger baby boomers, and their kids are older, maybe they're away at college or recently moved out, and they have parents who are aging and need their support. So this audience does watch cable TV. So we've geared some exciting tactics toward that. And they are indeed active on social media, just mostly through Facebook. And they don't use Facebook in the same way as the younger mom target. They just keep in touch with loved ones. And in terms of their grocery shopping habits, these folks don't typically order online. They're loyal to their established routines, brick and mortar stores, but they are migrating slowly towards online shopping if they can receive guidance from someone to coach them through it, usually their kids. So Abby's going to tell you a little bit more about the specific messages that each of these audiences will receive in order to address their specific concerns directly. And she's going to talk about a bunch of them.
What we want for your audience to hear is that Voila by Sobeys really is delivering fresh, quality groceries to their door at their convenience, and it's guaranteed. We need to know that we understand who they are and what they want. So we're saying that we're making it easy for them to shop at their regular grocery list and deliver it safely to their door or their loved ones' doors. We want them to become loyal consumers. So we're pushing the idea that even after the pandemic, we'll make it easy for them to care for their relatives and meet their own family's needs. A huge thing moving on to the budget is that the bulk of our budget really lies within our tactics and our campaigns. This really involves extravagant contests that are lively, but most importantly, very memorable. Influencer marketing and agency costs come next, and this covers stakeholder demands, social and other external communications, which is really important for your needs. Alicia is going to speak more about these tactics, and Zanette will actually be discussing the influencers, but we also provided a very detailed budget in the PDF we forwarded you as well. But we wanted to mention all of our ideas are malleable to fit your needs. And our idea is to focus on corporate social responsibility, which obviously will be explained in our tactics process as well. So let's move on to that.
Okay, we're very excited to tell you exactly what we have planned. To achieve our strategy of the multi-channel, fully integrated approach, our tactics really are three main things: contest, influencers, and Big Brother. So I'm going to get to that. So our first tactic engages our millennial moms, but it also reaches our empty nesters. And this is our widespread contest where these folks can nominate a hardworking teacher or neighbor or someone in their community to receive free groceries for a week. And a further chance to win a virtual cooking experience with Peter Oliver and Michael Bonaccini. So this leverages your recent partnership with Oliver and Bonaccini, obviously. We vetted some important influencers, which we'll show you in a bit, and they will promote this contest along with other things they'll be doing, but we'll tell you about that in a second. And we'll also have the contest advertised on the bottom of in-store receipts. And very importantly, this contest will really play out on radio. In our research, we found that audiences are still listening to radio while they work. So we'll make sure DJs are talking about the contest, reading stories from submissions, interviewing contest winners, all of that. We're going to be flooding it. This contest will run for 4 weeks in May with one winner a day. So there's lots of nonstop excitement, media mentions, click-throughs, and the momentum and engagement will build as the word spreads. Furthermore, contest winners and nominators will have that chance to win one of 10 virtual cooking experiences with Peter Oliver and Michael Bonaccini. So very excited. And that's just some sample content we've got for you there. Influencers. Thanks, Abby. We've carefully chosen these influencers to talk to our millennial moms, more rationale on those influencers specifically in a little bit. And these influencers will be given vouchers for their family's groceries for a week, and they'll document the entire process. So we'll directly address all of the concerns that that particular group has. We've got some sample Insta stories below to show you. So we'll talk about that in a little bit. And these will be scheduled over the course of the entire campaign. Big Brother Canada. So in week 4 of the campaign, we'll be on Big Brother Canada. This is where we're really getting our empty nesters interested while simultaneously hitting that national audience. So the Big Brother housemates are like a family. They'll be shown discussing meal planning, using the app, all of that, receiving the groceries, hitting all the same key messages as our influencers. So with this extra exposure, we're going to keep the contest going for another week afterwards. Okay, so our website activity will be ongoing throughout. We have 12 blog posts planned to boost search engine optimization and optimize and supplement our other tactics. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that in our media section. And we also recommend using your built-in promotional tool, your stores. So we'll have a daily receipt contest to win a $100 voucher to Voila. We'll have announcements over the loudspeaker, in-store posters, maybe buttons for employees to wear, but we can discuss more exciting ideas that might be possible in your stores.
All right, so to move on, all of our tactics were greatly experienced by Alicia, so thank you for that. Now let's get into our timeline. Obviously, our plan is to film Big Brother episodes before our campaign actually launches. The first official launch will actually happen the week of April 26th, when micro-influencers will be promoting ordering from Voila, and media releases will be sent out to targeted journalists. Blogs will begin to increase FAQ and SEO and really implement our key messages. Contests will run every day until May 24th. Radio stations will be featuring stories of nominees. Daily winners will actually be increasing user-generated content. And social posts, IGTVs, Reels, and Big Brother will all roll out until May 31st, when our evaluation will begin, and then we can really show you how successful we were. Media relations is very important for you and your team, and we know you're looking for national coverage. Big Brother has 4.2 million viewers with organic candidates on the show who are really going to be candid about their services and about how their experience was with Voila. We'll be able to secure a commercial in conjunction with theirs live on the global network. For our targeted audiences, obviously we'll be using radio ads and social media to really help stay in their minds. Chum, CP24, local stations, CBC, and social ads will really be pushing our key messages so that every time they look on their social, go on the radio, they're seeing Voila, and that will convert into them consistently seeing the Voila trucks. Once you think about something, you're always going to be seeing it.
So Sarah Joyce will be our chosen spokesperson for this campaign. She feels appropriate to us because employees already know, recognize, and trust her. And being featured on our social media campaign videos, customers will come to as well. Here's a clip of one of our social media videos that will be featuring Sarah.
J.W. Sobeys made his first delivery over 110 years ago. Voila by Sobeys still delivers fresh, quality groceries to your door at your convenience guaranteed.
By fulfilling our online orders from a warehouse, not a store, we have better control over the freshness and the quality of our products, and we have better visibility into the availability of inventory, so we can make more accurate promises. The robots bring down totes of product as needed for customer orders. Our teammates take the product and put it into the bag to go home to the customer. The system tells us which product to put in which bag, so we make sure we have product quality.
Everyone should be able to enjoy fresh, crisp lettuce or gorgeous, juicy pineapples.
We make it easy for you to shop for your regular items and deliver them safely to your door. Even after the pandemic, we'll make it easy to care for your relatives and make sure we meet your family's needs.
Voila, your groceries delivered, just like that.
So this does a great job at proving your promise to customers. And this is going to be our major message. So it will be live on social media, blog posts on both the Sobeys website and the Voila website. We have amazing coverage in this with our key messages. So we're really hoping to have this audio in store over the PA system as well to really market it to in-store customers. Another huge thing that we would like to discuss is the Voila robot. We heard you say videos of the robots are very limited, so we would love to figure out a way to work with Ocado to create a day in the life of the Voila robot without actually showing how the robots work. We would love to figure out some sort of way to mock it so that we can increase IGTVs and Reels to really push the familiarity with the services that we're providing. And this will increase trust in the process as well to answer everyone's huge question of how is this even possible? So I think that working with them will really implement something that will bring familiarity, but also increase awareness of what's going on in the actual warehouse.
Great, thank you, Abby. So next, let's talk about our influencers. We have chosen 8 influencers that we know can maximize the social media impact of our campaign. We've taken the approach of not only choosing the average influencer, but also incorporating micro-influencers into the mix. Micro-influencers, although having a smaller following, have higher engagement rates. What this means is that followers who see these posts are much more likely to take action and notice. For our first suggestion for the campaign is Melissa Grello. Melissa is a TV host on The Social and a co-founder of Ethical Kids clothing line. Additionally, she is a board member for World Wildlife Fund Canada. You're able to see her following stats here for her social channels, and her bio is here as well. She would be about $2,500 to work with. Next up, we have Jan Scott. Jan is an award-winning and best-selling cookbook author. She is a home cook and a mama of 3 boys in Stratford. She would be about $700 to work with. So next we have the famous Cat and Nat. Cat and Nat are booming on social media right now with a quickly expanding follower base. Promoting with them would help us reach many potential customers that are in our demographic. They are 2 best friends with 7 kids who are best-selling authors, content creators, and hosts of the #MomTruths podcast. They are the #1 affordable influencer in comparison with their following among this market being about $8,400 to work with. Next is Andrea Traynor. Andrea is a mom, content creator, and a digital consultant. She focuses on travel, beauty, fitness, food, and is a style enthusiast. Working with Andrea would be about $1,300. So next we have Nikita Holder. Nikita is another great influencer. She is a resilience and mental toughness coach. She's a mom and a 2-time Olympian. She competed in the Pan American Games and placed as a bronze medalist. We believe Nikita is an amazing choice to help break the mold of our market and expand a bit into more fitness-focused families. Working with Nikita would be about $1,200. Active parents are a Halton and Hamilton family who run a travel website, Amber & Co., which is the #1 digital resource for family experiences in the Hamilton area. They would let us expand into this market as well, into this market of being a little further out in that region. So Charlotte Mate is one of our great micro influencers that I spoke about earlier. Although Charlotte comes with a smaller following on Instagram, she has a team of dedicated followers who are quickly growing. She also has a very high engagement rate and is $550 to work with. And lastly, we have BJ Barron. BJ is a gay dad influencer who posts all about his family. He is a digital creator, and we believe this is a great new way to reach a new audience of customers. With BJ, we will be able to get some space in the LGBT plus community as well, which is also somewhere we want to reach with new and young families. So these are the types of stories that our influencers will be posting. As you can see, they have called up Voila, shown what their experience was like with Voila, and posted pictures for others to see their experiences. Our campaign will aim to provide a more candid and natural view to show that ordering from Voila is super easy and great.
Thank you so much, Lynette, for going over all of that. We really want to determine success and prove this to you by tracking the quote click-through rates and really engaging things with the contest engagement and tracking how many people are engaging with that and how it's going. We'll prove an increase in trust through social media polls, and an increase in media impressions, followers, and awareness will actually assist in further campaign success beyond our contract, which we believe would be the best for you to determine success beyond our contract as well. Obviously, we know that customer satisfaction and influencer-generated content will strengthen sales, profits, and stock margins to satisfy you and your stakeholders. Our tactics prove Voila is valuable, memorable, and worth it. Our content will continue to pop up, making Voila stick in your stakeholders and key audiences' minds. We are the best team for your return on investment. We're more than just a flashy campaign. We'll make your audience become loyal customers beyond our contract. We really look forward to working with you and answering any questions you may have about our services.
Hey, thanks, guys. And really, really great job. I think you guys did a great job of understanding some of our needs and the stuff that even the little details we communicated to you guys on our first kind of exploratory call. My first question is to do with your numbers here. So how is the sales increase calculated?
Does anyone want to take this on?
I mean, we'd have to work with you for that. We of course don't have a baseline to start with, but that would go with, I guess, in order to measure our outcomes with the evaluation, we'd have to know where we're starting. So I think that what would be best would be to know what your starting sales are at when we start our campaign, and then reevaluate and review at the end, measure it against what our efforts were, and the results will speak for themselves, I think.
I think as well, with me being key in stakeholders and Zanette really working well with everything that has to do with social media, we kind of know the back end of your website. So we're able to really work with your web team as well to figure out, again, as we keep saying, the click-through rate is huge. We want to know how people are finding your website, how people are finding out about you, and is that translating into sales, or are people just building awareness? Obviously, both will determine success, but sales are something that's still very important to you and your team.
Okay, thank you. I have two questions surrounding the Big Brother thing. So the first one is, obviously Big Brother is a reality show, and a show where kind of sometimes the unexpected happens. I'm just wondering, as a kind of family brand who in market plays it relatively safe, are we prepared to handle any kind of controversy that may come out of that show and being attached to that show?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely on the edgy side, but it's real, and we're in a real phase of life right now. So I think it leans into that. And what we have to remember about reality shows is that they are scripted reality. So there would be some back end contract work that need to go on. We of course don't want to promise that everything natural might be filtered out. But, you know, it is scripted reality. So when these types of contracts are sorted out behind the scenes, they do come with some built-in expectations. So we're confident that we can navigate any of the conflict that might happen on Big Brother away from anything that might be happening with their grocery delivery.
I think too, we really focused on Big Brother as their main goal is that they want the contestants to replicate a family's home life that kind of butts heads and fights and has competitions. So I think this will be the widest reach to get national coverage. And that will really help build up things with how they're promoting things, because obviously with our episode, our vision is to have the Voila trucks pull up and have the groceries be delivered properly and have that be a huge thing for the episode. So that will kind of increase advertising as well, beyond just, oh, we're delivering groceries to them, let's see what they have to say about it. It'll kind of be like, look how gracious this is type of thing. And I think that that's something that's huge for Big Brother, because although they act like they're contestants with no filter, like Alicia was saying, obviously they will have some sort of filter, but we still want it to feel candid. And that's what our goal really was with our influencer campaigns too. We wanted to pick people that weren't too clean, and we wanted people who look real on social media. And I think that's our main goal. And I think Big Brother is huge for that.
I agree with, just to add on what Abby said as well. I think that the customers will respect the realness, and they can see, like, they watch Big Brother, they know what it's about, and they can separate those two things. Adding Voila onto the brand just shows like somebody that they may look up to or somebody that they're interested in. They use that brand, and that might inspire them to also use their brand. Not necessarily attach the two so closely like that, unless it's in terms of just being real and transparent, which is definitely something that Voila by Sobeys is.
Okay. Your answers partly answered my second question. So I'm going to move into a different question. We touched on a little bit, which I appreciate, the employee concern of job loss as a potential kind of ramification of expanding this online business. I just wanted to kind of ask if there's any opportunity to include some of the positive job stories that happen here. So as we continue to expand Voila, we're obviously building lots of more jobs. And if there's been any consideration on how we kind of attack that from a media perspective.
Of course.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah, I was just going to say, it hadn't been worked into the plan yet, but if that does, if it is a higher concern for you, again, we're working with you. Nothing is carved in stone. We will absolutely, adapt as needed. If that needs to be a louder key message, then that will just simply be folded into anything else that we're already doing. some of, the community stories, the blog posts, anything that's going to, it's all integrated. So it's all going to work together. So we just have to pivot a little bit, add in new messaging, and then it'll still come together. But we can talk more about what are the most important key messages and what needs to come out, and the plan can be adapted.
A huge thing right now is social media is really focusing and honing in on showing faces. If you show a face as if it's TikTok on Instagram, it's going to get more views, more reach, more engagement, more interaction. So I think that that's a great idea to include to build SEO, but also build interactions on social media. Because if we're showing employees who are excited and showing their faces, and still, even if it's that hint of candid, but really we can tell it's filmed, and we've included filming in our budget as well to kind of make up for this idea. And I think that if we're able to focus on showing employees that are happy and, oh, I got a new job, or I got promoted because of Voila, and I'm now the Voila marketer for my store, and kind of showing key things where part-time students who are working at Sobeys can now up their resume by working with Voila, and working it out through that way so that employees still feel like they're being respected. It's not another thing added onto their plate. It's actually helping them in their job, but also in their future careers.
Oh, and one thing I don't know if we emphasized strongly was that we intend to use Voila's social media as well. So this can be something that can be shared on Voila's social media.
Yes, and just adding on to what they said as well, I think that showcasing that would be really easy. There's a lot of tactics. You could create a whole new tactic just for that if it was something that you really wanted to enforce. But if not, we could definitely include it among influencer some of the press release, and to do a variety of things, because that's definitely a very positive initiative. So I think we have quite a bit of options to work with you on that.
Great, excellent. Thanks, guys.